Welcome to this lecture. When talking about research-based learning, you may hear other terms used as synonyms. The most common of these is possibly inquiry-based learning, which will be the focus of this lecture. It is worth mentioning that inquiry-based learning is often used as an umbrella term to describe many educational strategies. These include project-based learning, project-based learning, case study-based learning, fieldwork, and many more. I don't really intend to go through all of these, so I will stick with inquiry-based learning as an overarching category that can encompass all these forms of teaching. As you will see, inquiry-based learning is a concrete way to create a learning progression that leads students to become researchers in their own right. However, I would like to highlight a common misconception that inquiry-based learning is only about teaching the research process so students can become researchers themselves. This is undoubtedly an important part of inquiry-based learning, but it is equally important that during the research process, students also learn what it means to be a researcher and how to strive for knowledge as a researcher. It is about learning to think like a researcher, to become an inquirer, so that your future inquiries can be made with the criteria of knowledge acquisition that we value in higher education. So the lecture consists of the following parts. In the first video, I addressed the question of whether all students should become researchers at a basic level. This lecture has come about as a result of the course on research-based teaching and learning in higher education that we're having right now, that I'm giving right now, and why I am giving this lecture. One purpose of research-based teaching and learning is to train students to become competent researchers themselves, as this is not an explicit purpose in all higher education programs. One can question this purpose of research-based learning. However, I will argue that the question can be reinterpreted as being about educating students to become independent inquirers, which I believe all higher education programs should see as a worthy purpose. The next three videos describe inquiry-based learning. In the first of them, I briefly review what inquiry-based learning is, and in the following video, I present 4 forms of inquiry, showing what inquiry-based learning can look like in practice. Finally, I will show how the process towards greater capacity of inquiry goes through 5 phases. So I hope you find this lecture rewarding.